Let's take 10, and there's nothing like a good bridge to make that back feel really good. So have a block for a supported bridge that will do towards the end. So in your bridge, alignment is everything. So we want to make sure that we have our hips, our knees, our ankles all lined up. So let's make our way down onto the mat, torso down, and now walk those heels closer to your body so that those knees are on top of those ankles. And from here, those arms are alongside of your body. And I want you to find a pelvic tuck. So think about pushing the small of your back into the mat. So think about when we're standing in our Tadasana and we tuck that pelvis. That's what we're doing here, pelvic tuck, making that back nice and strong. All right, from here, those hip bones line up with the knees, and those knees drop down to those ankles. So you always want to keep that alignment. You don't want those knees flopping open or those knees coming together. Keep that alignment. And when you're ready, let's just push into those heels and just barely lift the hips. So we're just going to hover here. So we're going to just start to feel we've got some space underneath our bum and that back. And we're just starting to feel those thighs and those glutes warm up. And lower. And again, checking all that alignment. Push into those heels. Let's lift up those hips and just let the hips hover. So you're squeezing those glutes. Feel that heating. And let those hips come down. And now we're going to add some movement to our bridge. So when we bring our hips up, we're also going to sweep those arms up overhead. And with our exhale, arms are going to come back down and we're slowly going to lower the hips. We're going to do this nice and slow. Inhale, slowly lift the hips, bringing those arms up overhead. And with your exhale, arms come back and slowly let that spine travel back down onto the mat. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale down. Do a few more of these with your breath work. And let those arms and hips rest and relax. Now let's take it into our bridge. So palms are alongside. Tuck that pelvis. The small of the back is pressed up against the mat. When you're ready, gently push into those heels. Start to lift those hips. Lift higher. Think about, I've got a string pulling that belly button up. So finding that bridge, holding it here. And slowly, one vertebra at a time, upper back, middle of the back, the small of your back, and the hips, and rest here. A bridge is such great stretching for your back and releases tight back muscles too. When you're ready, let's do that again. So push the small of your back into the mat. You've got that pelvic tuck. When you're ready, push those hips up. Lifting those hips. I've got that string pulling the belly button up, holding it here. Can you lift another half an inch? and come back down. Now remember, be mindful that those knees don't splay out or go in. We're trying to keep that nice alignment when we come out of this. So the next time that we come into our bridge, we're going to do something which is called rolling on to those shoulder heads and interlocking our hands behind our back. So it helps us lift up a little higher. If that doesn't work for you, feel free to just do the version we've just been doing. Push the small of your back to the mat. When you're ready, slowly start lifting those hips, finding that bridge. And if you'd like to add that additional, interlock the fingers behind your back and you can roll onto each one of those shoulders, lifting those hips a little higher. If you're on those shoulders, roll off, unlock the fingers, and roll down one vertebra at a time. Upper back, middle of the back, small of your back, and the hips, and rest. Good. Now we're going to add a little bit more to this. So let's take that right leg and cross that ankle over the left knee. Open that right knee out to a number 4, and we're going to lift up into a bridge with just that one leg. Keep pushing the right knee out to the side. Hold it. And lower, one vertebra at a time. And let's do the other side. Left ankle on that right knee. Open that knee out to a number 4. Keep that left foot flexed. When you're ready, slowly lower up into that bridge. And come down. Uncross and rest for a moment. And now gently bring yourself back up. Let's find the block. We're going to use it a couple of different ways. So first we're going to bring the block in between the thighs. It's going to help us keep our bridge a little stronger here. So again, find that alignment. The hips line up with those knees. Those knees are stacked over those ankles. And now push the small of your back into the mat. Find that pelvic tuck. Squeeze the block and lift, finding your bridge. Now this will keep those knees in alignment because it won't let those knees fall out or in. So finding that strong bridge here, keep squeezing the block. And slowly lower. Good. The last part of our bridge is now we're going to take the block and we're going to bring it underneath the small area of our back. And you can have it the low height, the medium height, or the tall height, just depending on what your flexibility is. So let's lift those hips and bring that block underneath, because what we're going to do is we're going to find a support here with the block and just let our body drape over either side. So this is the low version. If I lift my hips up higher, I can find the medium, or even higher, I can go to the high position. So wherever you are, bringing those arms alongside of the torso again. And now let the weight of your body drape to either side of the block. That's a good stretch for that back. Mindful of the knees, keep them in alignment. And wherever your block is, let's lift those hips up Move that block out of the way, slowly come down again. One vertebra at a time, that upper back, middle back, small of the back, and then the hips. And then the last move that we're going to do with this bridge is we're going to have the block at the low or the medium, again to the small of the back. But this time we're going to let those legs extend. So finding a little bit more stretch in that back. If that's not comfortable, opt out and do what we had just done previously. So knees are bent, ready to bring the block, not the high position for this one. So the low or medium. Bring that to the small of the back so that it's comfortable. You know that that body can drape, arms alongside, and slowly lengthen those legs, finding that stretch in that low back. To come out of this, put a bend in those knees, feet flat. Let's lift those hips up again. Remove the block. Come down one vertebra at a time. Let your body relax. Now, anytime that you do any form of a back bend, including a wheel or a bridge, you want to wait several moments before you come into your counter stretch. You don't want to do that too quickly. So now for our counter stretch for our bridge, let's just gently bring those knees into our chest. Slowly letting those back muscles lengthen that you've been working. Giving yourself a little hug here. You can continue that little hug. Maybe you can do one leg at a time, your choice. But thanks for taking 10 to work on that back and your bridge, and see you next time.